we are back. Hello, it's been a little bit since I last recorded some Disco Elysium. Let us go see about the dead guy, huh? Oh, I can just use the fucking arrow keys. What am I doing? Got me smelling salts. Let's go. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Smelling salts or whatever now. The kid's still throwing rocks at the dead guy. There's my puke.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eye.
I have the smelling salts, don't I? How do I equip them? I wanted to not Google during this, but you know what? How do I fucking equip the smelling salts?
The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. You managed to keep it in once.
Well, what the fuck do I do now?
The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
I don't think I want to be a cop anymore.
Get a hold of yourself.
You feel the lieutenant pat your back rhythmically.
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder.
Why can't I keep it in if I've been a cop my whole life?
I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday is cadaver day. Throw up, investigate. Throw up, initial autopsy. Throw up, bag it.
You pass your back again.
Then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there if you didn't bag the thing tight enough.
You seem to be fine.
I think I've lost my sense of smell.
There's a pause.
A white lie.
Not being hungover helps too.
Seriously, this isn't fun. I don't want to be a policeman anymore.
Okay, you've said it. You needed to say it. And now that you have,
He withdraws his hand from your back and looks you in the eye.
you need to get your shit together.
My shit it already is together.
No, it's not, officer.
Okay.
We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, Go to your thought cabinet and internalize it with special bonuses and effects.
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
Your shit is apart, and it's rather becoming of a cop and a human being. It's supposed to be the opposite of that. Together. Compressed in a small area. To achieve a solid level of shit compression, squeeze your butt cheeks together for 30 minutes. Do something similar with 2 hemispheres of your brain. Talk to people. Maybe that will help. Well, I will internalize that. I don't know if I should internalize the other one. Body... Equipping complete volumetric shit compressor thought. Okay, so it takes half an hour. So... let's get out of here. I'm gonna re-equip my bag, actually, just in case. In case I find some good bottles laying around. I want to climb on that thing like it has in the loading screen in the beginning. I want to climb on shit. It's gonna be the most deranged, weird little old man. Talk. Do we have to talk? Do we have to go up?
Scab?
Asked the man with jolly eyes tilting his head.
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
What exactly is a scab?
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses.
Hold on, where did they all come from?
Beats me. Somewhere in the ground, I think.
You don't seem to like them much.
Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to scab. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who?
He looks at the mask, squinting his eyes as if trying to ascertain what they're scared of.
Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something.
Nod. Have you tried talking to them?
We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
I'm not a scab, I'm a cop.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab.
His smile deepens his wrinkles even more.
Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, "Let us cop for less money."
He chuckles, then realizes.
Psst, show him your stolen card. Now has arrived the perfect moment.
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
For drama. I'm actually a worker like you guys. Show him the stolen card.
The man looks at the colorful piece of plastic, then at you, then back at the card, then at you again.
But that's not you, officer.
It's an old picture.
From back when you were not a cop, but a heavy-set, dark-skinned dock worker named Santiago Jean?
Does not seem plausible now that I think of it.
Yes, and you also told me you're a cop. But now that this is settled, how did you get a shift card?
He leans in to inspect the card.
Now you're in a mess. The time hath not arrived. Sorry.
It was like a sign. The wind deposited it before my feet. I feel closeness to this person.
Yes, the city has a way of pairing souls. John's been out drinking himself blind. He should be more careful, that Johannes. Can I have the card?
No, it will prove useful still. Believe your thieving fingers.
No, I'm afraid the card's evidence in an ongoing investigation.
Oh. Is my friend in some sort of trouble? Who knew?
I've come to Martinez investigating a murder.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
It's actually very fun and easy.
I don't believe you. Post L'Aventurier said the same thing. They tried to get me to be their postman. So fun, so easy, they said. It's just walking.
He shakes his head at the memory.
It wasn't. I'm doing much better here at the harbor. Being an honest union man with a lot of free time on his hands.
I need to know what's behind these gates. I'm exploring.
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits.
He gazes over the roundabout with a glint of longing. Does that mean you can get me through the gate?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
He takes a swig and points up the stairs with his flask.
If it's all so simple, why don't the strikebreakers just go up the stairs?
That simple? I just walk in?
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
Past Measurehead?
Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him,
He points to the bridge above the gates. Right.
then press the button to unlock the door,
Uh-huh.
then go past him again,
Okay.
and you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
Oh, gotcha. I think I have some questions for you first.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
What's a strike about anyway?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He smiles.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike too. Just can't break the command structure and tell you now.
Nice talk. I gotta get going. I get moving. It says GRIH. So is there anybody else we can actually talk to? Okay, we can talk to this fella.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
The man yells towards the harbor gates. His voice is the loudest of the lot, and oddly screechy for a man of his size. What's going on here?
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
The broad-shouldered alpha male turns to you. He's a full head taller than everybody else here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
Why should I?
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
Okay, then I'm thinking no.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here.
Right to work! Right to work!
He chants to the gates.
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
What kind of cause are we talking about?
Rights of people, rights of workers, to have gainful employment, to make a salary, and feed their families.
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of voice bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from a set of learned phrases.
Regardless, I have some questions for you.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here.
Shame on you!
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
He points his finger at the man sitting on the railing.
So do we, Scott.
The lawyer and man hollers in return. Who are all these strike breakers?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
The man runs a hand through his steadily graying military haircut.
We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy,
Sure,
because
Jan.
they were.
Given a job to do!
I want to get into the harbor too.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. and trying to meet their fat boss.
I'm interviewing people about a murder that took place here, behind the hostel cafeteria there.
I know nothing about a murder.
This is probably snappy and terse. Absolutely nothing?
Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything to stay alive. Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup, open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
This really isn't my area of expertise.
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity.
Let us work!
What is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
He shifts uncomfortably in his worker's overalls. So I feel like he doesn't believe that. He just wants... the vibe I'm getting is he doesn't believe that, but he is a scab, and he does want to do his scabbing works. What do the strikers want?
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing
Is
looks
he
vaguely
undercover?
mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
Ill-fitting, what does that mean?
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
You wearing new clothes?
He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
Okay, I gotta ask, where exactly are you from?
What's it to you?
Deep-set suspicion drips from every syllable. I thought you looked real familiar for a second there.
No, don't think we've met before. I came to help out the people.
His eyes narrow with mistrust.
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guise of this fighter for jobs. He seems a more brutal, cunning, and suspicious person. Just a hunch. Or you just might be paranoid.
Already got that. I'm interested in your background.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill.
A bouncer? Where? I frequent a lot of bars. Maybe it's one I know.
Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell?
Not right now, but I might have been there. I don't really remember things well.
Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
Amanda's quickly losing interest in talking to you. What exactly is your goal here?
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you were unable to breach the entrance?
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Wait, head measurer?
Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind him.
How bad could one guy be? You seem capable.
Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained.
I'm pretty sure I would die if I fought that man. I'm not in good shape, I don't think.
I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke, and my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters.
Why don't you just talk to them?
Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
Bro. Ugh.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No. They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
The man rubs his jaw, a perfect, lightly bearded square wedge. I'm going to leave now.
Volumetric shit compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts.
Well, we got that going for us. Should we do the rigorous self-critique? -1 authority, embarrassment of the party. Alright. Wait. Right there, the bottles. Glory's probably stored fuel here. Now they store booze. I want to talk to more people is the thing, but let's see. Foreign car kept in good condition. Bold slogan, Humanox covers the truck. What's that?
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods.
Who is this? A silver plaque on the statue's
A
pedestal.
silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane." As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece.
What did this king do?
Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy.
In what way?
Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy during the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
How did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury?
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. He called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
I would like to sleep on gold, hustler style.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction.
The what now?
You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy.
Okay, what is nose candy?
Cocaine.
Okay, where is he buried now?
beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum.
What happened to the statue?
The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces.
Who restored the monument?
Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
That's brilliant, so funny and nihilistic.
People in Martinez tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life either.
What indentations? What do I see?
Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. A bullet? Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Lieutenant, has someone shot the king? Point to the indentation.
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it.
What do you think?
Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement?
Political, it's a king and he's shot.
Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people still shoot them, sometimes at kings.
He takes a note in his notebook.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute and indifferent to your sightings.
I'll climb that thing like you showed in the thingy. I'll find a way. I'll find a way.
A Stars Ryko, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. An oldie, but a goldie.
Who drives these?
Not many people outside of Grad, and Revachol West too, it appears.
Hey Kim, check this out.
A Stash Ryko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time.
Hold on, maybe I can impress him. Do I know what happened last time?
No, only that the motor carriage is typically baby blue, the colors of Sigismund the Great, an ancient Zhimsk ruler. His banners were famously zephyr and white, the colors of the Stars Ryko.
What happened last time, Kim?
An old case for my precinct. A couple of Zhimsk migrants saw a Stash Ryko stopped in the street, painted just like this, muddy brown. Murdered the driver on the spot. They said it was an honor killing, Hussar style. The Zhimsk community protested the trial, flying the banners of some old king or whatever. 5,000 came to protest.
Jeez.
Correction. 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol.
I hate to correct you, Kim, but only 4,400.
Is that so, officer? I'll take you at your word.
Or there's a mess community.
People we are paid to protect. Let's leave it at that.
Lieutenant shakes his head. What did they sentence the killers to?
4 years for murder in Reunion.
4 years? Jesus. He saw his reflection in the car window.
The perps were remorseful. Their sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence. That's the system.
Fuck.
The prisons in the greater Revachol Industrial Harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive to maintain. The longer the sentence, the larger the cost.
Kim, could our hangman have been the driver of this car?
I try to avoid drawing far-gone conclusions like this before actually examining the body, but my initial guess is the two are unrelated.
Got it. it's autosaving while I'm trying to walk. Hopefully I didn't spend too much time over here that it's gonna be like, it's too smelly again. Let's get my shit together so that I might examine this body.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely... As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
Do they always do that?
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
Step closer.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt. Big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Don't ask me how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo.
Airlifting? I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Apparently this is the reinforced kind for air transport. My brain tells me so.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
They sure wanted him to stay up there. The rope is reinforced with steel wiring.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
How did they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
He points to the buckle tying the belt to the branch above. If they climb up using the kid's ladder, point to the one at the side of the tree.
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
He makes a pulling motion.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it?
I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing strike. You?
He politely raises an eyebrow. Don't ask me, I'm just lumbering from one moment to the next.
We all are. This bet worries me.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow.
Yeah, ceramic boots? That's...
These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
These aren't just boots, are they? This is the armor he was stripped of.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
With his notebook under his arm, Lieutenant crouches to inspect the soles.
Oh, the lieutenant uses a memo technique, A6. That's not just any notebook. It's a classic.
Forget about the notebook. Tell me about the armor.
It's clearly some manner of super armor. Or future armor. Super future armor. I'm useless.
What kind of armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the heel. Fairweather. Fairweather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
The material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive.
Lieutenant draws a line in the condensation on the ceramic with his index finger.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rank.
Ka-ching, baby! Nod to the boots.
By catching, do you mean let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them?
No, that's not what I meant.
Of course.
He nods.
The lieutenant nods often. It's part of his unplastic expression range, communicating both professionalism and sarcasm. This time, the latter.
Where's the rest of it? Scavenged by the locals?
Piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if they didn't.
But how did they climb up there to get the stuff off of him?
We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. Maybe he'll know something.
He nods towards Kuno. Understood.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic.
How could this man afford such expensive hardware?
That's for us to find out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions.
These look pretty advanced for a security guard.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
Sounds fragile.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
He points to the boots.
Faint, organic lines cover the plates, where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates, until there are hundreds of them altogether. Like whirls of floorboards, the design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
What does this remind me of?
If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like.
Run your finger over the lines.
The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination, E50, 100, 1000.
Point to it. Looks like there's a serial number on the right sabaton.
Good. Can you read it to me?
He dips the drying ballpoint of his pen on his tongue.
X5415 6745 678222. Let's lie.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
Pull the boot
The
off.
stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes from above.
Stop!
Lieutenant's voice is sharp. He looks at you with the boot under your arm.
Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Oh, fuck, I didn't mean to do that.
Brutal!
Oh, this is a bad idea, isn't it?
You're going to pull his head off.
Do it, homo!
I'm gonna pull his head off, right?
Yes, that's what I said. You'll compromise the coroner's case if you do. So please, don't.
Indeed, from this angle, it does look like the neck isn't going to take much more. Being dead for a week has all but liquefied his muscles.
Gross.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot?
We're not detectives. There may be clues inside the boot.
How many clues do you need? You already found a number. Besides,
He taps on the boot.
there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They are fused to his feet now. Why do you think the locals haven't scavenged them yet?
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around.
Steal a dead man's boots? But that would be dishonorable. Refuse. For honor.
All right then. You can pay the hostel bill in honor points. How many honor points have you collected?
There are honor points?
Of course there aren't. Don't be naive.
Okay, got it.
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Inspect the tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Is this a national pattern?
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century. Men who live harsh lives often turn to innocentic worship. But which one? I see no trace of a humanoid figure.
You're missing something here.
I agree.
A sudden ring fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
What's that?
A Trigger Sunshine. Mini.
Triggered is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices, primarily projectors. The camera before you looks familiar somehow.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
He produces two metal-capped ampules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
He points the camera at the corpse peering into it. The lens needs adjusting then.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
Lieutenant says and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cool wind. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. Cool machine.
Yes. It is pretty cool, isn't it?
He slides the camera close and tucks it away in his belt.
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
What do we need this photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
He hands you the piece of rolled up photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
Look him in the eye.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
Tell me who you are, dead man.
The corpse is dead silent. You have no idea why you just said that.
Who is he? He is male, 4250, with an athletic build.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench. Eyes like a shark.
Squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Observe.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
His face and hands are pink. Thighs, too.
I see it. His neck, too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
Relax your eyes.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
I think he was upright after death. His hands, feet, and neck are discolored.
Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
Could it still be he was moved after death?
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
Cover your nose. Something is coming out of him.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
Oh, I'm gonna say it. Goddamn right, I'm a bleep. Turn around and yell.
Malicious laughter erupts in the yard. Sounds like seagulls.
Big's head is a...
The lieutenant's face is made of stone.
He's beaten up. See the bruises?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
It means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
I think he's dead.
I agree.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Totally dead.
The world no longer stores his personality and its composition. There was time for that, and it ended 7 days ago.
That sounds about right, yes.
Now it's in agreement with this advanced piece of conceptualization, having molded over the... Back off and catch your breath.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
So how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
He stops to think, check his notes. Step back and have another look first.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos and extremities blotched.
To get him down from here.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Can't someone else do it?
Someone else? You mean like the police?
No, those weird-ass kids who keep calling me slurs.
What was that about processing, then? Weren't they supposed to take care of the boots? Why don't they help?
Can't the boys from processing take care of this?
No.
Okay, then.
I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
We could sell the branch.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Yeah, it seems dangerous.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Maybe we could shoot him down.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Lieutenant remains unaffected.
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Why do it there? The buckle holds the belt together.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
Take the shot, Lieutenant. What's the worst thing that could happen?
I'll blow his head off.
Take it! Take the shot!
Yeah, take the shot. Kuno wants some of that shit.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, The lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
I'm gonna say nothing because I don't want him to miss because I spoke.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
a lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's test was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight.
Fucking idiot! Mukabat asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
It's okay, man.
Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano clad.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
Try again, maybe?
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised.
He looks around at the windows overlooking the yard.
Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that.
What now?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor?
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appear to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
I would really prefer if there was another way. These people might have an agenda.
Yeah, wait, let's reconsider. Consider other options first.
But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
Fuck it. That's it, we have to ask for help from the harbor.
Okay, they do have the tools and the men. And since it looks like they put him there...
Yeah. I guess they can't get him down there too.
Okay, let's do it in the lousy, dangerous way.
How do we get inside the harbor?
From the gates, by negotiating or fighting. I'm unenthusiastic about fighting. Or we can try to find some secret third path. It's unlikely though.
To the gates. Let's negotiate.
Let's get to it then. Alright, let me see. Picture of the dead dude.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. The pattern still kind of has an ethnic feel to it, but nothing familiar.
What's the meaning of this tattoo?
For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Someone who knows about history could tell you.
Who are you?
Gone.
Rest of the armor. Tattoos. Alright, let's put our new skill point into something. What do we want to put it in? Continue with the public, assert yourself. Suggestion. Probably should put it into suggestion. Keep your morale up. Let's put in a suggestion. Let's see, anything else? Oh, we have a map? Map complete. Acquire copy. City. Okay. Alright. I'm on here for a little bit longer than I intended to be today, but I just enjoy just the weirdness of helping put this man's mind back together. So I will definitely be playing some more of this, do not worry. So yeah, I'm gonna leave things here for now. If you've been enjoying the game, if you've been enjoying the story, what have you, hit those like and subscribe buttons. Maybe leave a comment if you're feeling generous, if you're feeling up to it. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.